Hey, we're live. Thank you to the Scholastic Book Clubs. Thank you, Judy Newman. Thank you, everybody at the Scholastic Book Clubs. Thank you, Jan and Sharon and Elliot and Wayne and uh, everyone. I can't think of everyone right now. Thank you, everyone at the Scholastic Book Clubs, for having me. My name is Jerry Pallotta. I'm a guy who writes books. My books are in the Scholastic Book Clubs. I love it. Thank you for having me. Today, I'm going to read a book, and we're going live. And I'm going to read a book called Falcon versus Hawk. So there you go. It's my newest Who Would Win book. People say to me, hey, what's your next Who Would Win book? My next Who Would Win book is The Ultimate Shock Rumble. The Ultimate Shock Rumble will come out, I think, August 1st. So thank you, clubs. But just now, I was going to tell a little story before I start reading. Here is a picture of, I was in Ireland, and I was visiting with my college buddies, and we went out one day, and as a surprise, they had us meet a falconer. So I met a falconer, and people say, where do you get book ideas? Well, here's how I got the book idea for this book. You know, I wrote Who Would Win books. But the falconer, here he is letting me hold the hawk. So there's the hawk right there. So there's me. There I am holding the hawk. Whoops. Hold on a sec. I don't know why that happened, but anyways. There's me holding the hawk right there. And of course, a few minutes later, after we saw the hawk, they introduced us to a falcon. So there's the falcon right there. And along the way, we met a barn owl. So here's me holding the barn owl. I don't know where that barn owl went. I'll have to go back this way. I got to hold the barn owl, and I was really interested in the barn owl's face. It was so interesting. There I am. I'm holding the barn owl right there. There it is right there. And that was really nice. So the barn owl's face was really interesting. I hope to put it in a book someday. His face acts like a radar, so he can pick up little animals on the ground. He can listen to them. So here I am, Falcon versus Hawk, written by Jerry Pallotta, illustrated by Rob Bolster. And it goes like this. What would happen if a falcon met up with a hawk? What if they had a fight? Who do you think would win? Hello, falcons. Falcons, hawks, owls, kites, eagles are raptors. Raptors are animals that kill other animals and eat them. There are several species of falcons. As you can see here in the illustration, Amur falcon, peregrine falcon, grill falcon, Barbary falcon, black falcon, prairie falcon, gray falcon. There's too many falcons for me to put them all on the page. The illustrator and I tried to make it look as good as we could. Wing fact, birds have 2 wings. Falcons are also called birds of prey. They catch their dinner, they eat meat. Hello, hawks. I'm sorry, go back. Hello, hawks. Hawks are also raptors and birds of prey. Some birds eat seeds, some birds eat fruit, hawks eat meat. Here are several kinds of hawks. Red-tailed hawk, goshawk, Cooper's hawk, Harris hawk, common black hawk. I'm laughing because we have a little technical problem. Go backwards. Name fact. Buzzards, harriers, and kites are also hawks. Fact. An osprey is also called a seahawk. Zone-tailed hawk, osprey. Okay, turn the page. And then here we go. Meet the falcon. Here is a peregrine falcon. Scientific name, Falco peregrinus. It's the fastest animal on Earth. This bird is built for speed. It can dive at more than 200 miles per hour. It is the fastest animal on Earth when diving. A cheetah can run up to 70 miles per hour. That's the fastest land animal. Fastest fish, a sailfish can swim up to 90 miles per hour. The fastest Olympic sprinters run up to 27 miles per hour, the fastest humans. And meet the hawk. Here is a red-tailed hawk. Scientific name, Buteo jamaicensis. To see a red-tailed hawk, look in high, bare branches along a road. Red-tailed hawks want to be able to see in all directions. They are constantly looking to avoid predators and catch prey. When hawks see an animal on the ground, they swoop down and try to catch it with their talons. Definition. A talon is a long, sharp, curved claw. People do not have talons. And then air. Falcons look for birds to capture and eat. The peregrine falcon attacks in the air at high speeds, beak first, then catches prey with its claws. The peregrine eats various prey, including smaller, slower, and weaker birds. Group fact. A group of birds is called a flock. Fact. The home of a bird is called a nest. Falcons build a simple nest called a scrape. A falcon often builds its nest in a crevice high on a cliff. Ground. Hawks attack from the air to the ground, feet first. They grab and stab prey with their long, sharp talons. Home fact. A red-tailed hawk usually builds its nest high in the crown of a tree. Hawks look for mice, rats, voles, moles, frogs, lizards, and other small animals to eat. Largest. The largest living bird is a common ostrich. It stands up to 9 feet tall, but is flightless. Food fact. People eat ostrich. The meat looks and tastes like beef. The largest extinct bird is the elephant bird. Scientists believe it stood up to 10 feet tall and weighed up to 1,000 pounds. The tallest extinct bird is the moa. It stood up to 12 feet tall. Definition. Extinct means that a species is no longer alive. The largest flying seabird is the wandering albatross. Its 12-foot wingspan is longer than any living flying bird. Smallest. The smallest living bird is a bee hummingbird. It is the size of a large bee. And thank you to the illustrator who drew an ostrich egg, a chicken egg, and a hummingbird egg. And he showed the actual sizes. There's the bee hummingbird. And then how wings work. The shape of an airplane wing and the shape of a bird's wing are similar. Air flows over the top of the wing faster than air flows over the bottom. This creates lift. Lift allows planes and birds to take flight. In the illustration, you can see the air goes along the bottom in a straight line, and then the top is curved. Next time you're on a jet or an airplane, take a look. Sea fact. Penguins are birds that do not fly in the sky, but if you watch them swim in the ocean, they seem to fly underwater. Fact. Wilbur and Overwright studied birds and bird wing structure before designing the first airplane. Another way to create lift is to adjust the front of the wing upward. This causes drag on the back end. Speed fact. Birds also flap their wings to increase speed and lift. A whale fact. The side fins of a humpback whale are shaped like a bird's wing. Wow. Eyes. Falcons have excellent eyesight. Like most birds of prey, they have better vision than a human being. Did you know a falcon cannot move its eyes? Falcons can see tiny animals from about 1 mile away. In the sky, a falcon can see other birds before they see it. Eyes. Hawks also have great eyesight. Hawks see little animals on the ground that humans could never see without binoculars. Idiom. Eyes like a hawk is an expression for having excellent vision. Did you know a hawk also can't move its eyes the way we do? The hawk moves its entire head to follow what it wants to see. I guess if I was a hawk, I would be like this to read the book instead of just moving my eyes back and forth. Beak. A peregrine falcon's greatest weapon are its speed and beak. The beak is pointed and sharp, but it also has a tooth-shaped edge. Sharp fact. A falcon's hooked beak is used to rip flesh. Did you know you can identify what a bird eats by the shape of its beak? Bonus fact. Some birds have special beaks for cracking seeds, sipping nectar, and catching insects. Bill. The red-tailed hawk has a sharp beak that is designed to tear and rip skin and meat. Definition. A bill is another word for beak. Fact. All birds have beaks. Design fact. Other birds have beaks for chiseling trees, catching fish, and straining water. Talons. A falcon's talon can be almost an inch long. Toe fact. Most birds have 4 toes on each foot, 3 in front, 1 in back. In the illustration, you can see the foot, the four toes, in the talons. Dinosaur fact. A T-Rex also had 3 toes in front and 1 toe in back. Actual size. The peregrine falcon's talon is the same size same length as a US quarter. Feet are tucked under during flight. Feet. Red-tailed hawk's talon can measure up to 1.3 inches long. Bonus fact. The Audubon Society is dedicated to protecting birds and bird habitats. Fact. A swift is a bird that has 4 toes that point forward. Actual size. A red-tailed hawk's talon is longer than a quarter. It's actually about as long as a Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. Would you like to have talons instead of toenails? Speed. A peregrine falcon flies up to 60 miles per hour, but it can dive at more than 200 miles per hour. The peregrine can dive up to 0.62 miles in the air. That's 0.6 of a mile, over 3,000 feet. It dives over 200 miles per hour. So it can dive from like higher than the Empire State Building. Definition. When a falcon is flying downward at high speeds, it is called stooping. Quickness. Red-tailed hawk flies at about 20 to 40 miles per hour, but can reach a speed of up to 120 miles per hour when diving for food. Sport fact. Falconry is the sport of training hawks and falcons to hunt in cooperation with a person. Of course, when I did falconing, it was for pleasure to learn all about birds. Red-tailed hawks can spot a mouse from up to 100 feet away. Tail. An arrow, an airplane, and a jet can't fly without a tail. A falcon also needs its tail to fly. The tail holds steady or stabilizes its flight. In the illustration, you can see an arrow's tail, the bird's tail, and a falcon can also move its tail around to turn or twirl. Red-tailed hawk also has a tail. Its tail movement helps the hawk to turn left, turn right, dive, or rise. And the illustrator showed an airplane tail, and the orange parts are movable surfaces, and the white parts are non-movable surfaces. So you can see how an airplane also controls its tail, just like the bird. Falcon's wings. A falcon wings are thinner and slender, but they are built for maximum speed. Goofy fact. A peregrine falcon is sometimes called a duck hawk. Definition. An ornithologist is a scientist who studies birds. Falcon weight. There's the female and the male. An adult female peregrine falcon weighs about 3.3 pounds. The male weighs about 2.2 pounds. Red-tailed hawk has wide wings. Its broad wings help it maneuver through trees to grab mice, squirrels, frogs, and other small animals. Hawks have shorter, wider wings than falcons. Bonus name fact. Red-tailed hawks are sometimes called roadside hawks. Hawk weight. An adult female hawk weighs up to 3.2 pounds. The male weighs up to 2.8 pounds. As with falcons, the female is bigger than the male. And then famous falcons. So here we go. We shouldn't be surprised that the US military named one of its best fighter jets after the falcon. It attacks from the air like the bird. It can also quickly change its speed and direction. The F-16 Fighting Falcon. There are sports teams named after falcons. The NFL has a team called the Atlanta Falcons. And there's a picture of the Atlanta Falcons helmet. And falcons are famous. They have their own postage stamp. And there's famous hawks. The NFL has a team called the Seattle Seahawks. The NBA has a team called the Atlanta Hawks. So there's the Seattle Seahawks logo, and there's the Atlanta Hawks Basketball Club logo. And sure enough, the red-tailed hawk has its own stamp. The US military has a helicopter called the Black Hawk. It was named after a Native American chief, Black Hawk. And there's a Black Hawk helicopter. The red-tailed hawk is sitting on top of a dead tree looking for mice. Its position is called a perch. The bigger hawk does not see the smaller falcon 1,000 feet above her. The red-tailed hawk starts to fly. It is concentrating on looking for food. Maybe there is a tasty baby squirrel down there somewhere. The red-tailed hawk never looks up. The peregrine falcon sets its eyes on the hawk. It has laser focus. It gets in its stoop position. The falcon is flying like a rocket. The hawk doesn't know it, doesn't know what hit it. Wham! The falcon slices the hawk and breaks one of its wing bones. The hawk tries to correct its flight. The falcon makes another dive. It's a direct hit. Wham! Again. The red-tailed hawk is falling uncontrollably. It won't recover. It crashes to the ground, badly wounded. After a brief fight on the ground, the falcon eats the hawk and brings some of the meat back to its hungry chicks waiting in the nest. The falcon wins. So there you go. I read that book, and behind me you can see some skulls because where I live, I wrote a skull alphabet, so I have some skulls up to celebrate my skull book. Hey, I'm going to read another book. I believe this time I'm going to read Jaguar versus Skunk. And thank you to the second grade kid who said to me one day, Jerry, you have introduced chemical warfare into your books. So thank you to that second grade kid. He was a funny kid. I'm sure he'll be a great writer someday. And of course, he was talking about the stink from the skunk. Some kids ask me, what's your worst who would win book? And I always joke, the Falcon versus Skunk is a stinky book. But I was only kidding. I think it's a great book. Hey, what would happen if a skunk and a jaguar came nose to nose? If they had a fight, who do you think would win? The jaguar is a mammal in the cat family. Meet the jaguar. It is the third largest cat on earth. The jaguar is a skilled hunter and an excellent swimmer. Its scientific name is Panthera onca. Definition: a mammal is a warm-blooded animal that often has hair or fur. Big fact: the Siberian tiger is the largest of all cats. Second fact: the lion is the second largest cat. Meet the skunk. The skunk is a mammal in the Mephitidae family. A striped skunk's scientific name is Mephitidas mephitis, which means bad smell. Skunks have black and white fur. Fact: the word skunk comes from the Algonquin Indian language. The skunk is not known for its scary teeth or sharp claws. It is famous because it can make a stink. Jaguars can climb trees. They often drag their freshly killed prey up into the branches of a tree. Swim. Most cats do not like to go in the water, but the jaguar is an excellent swimmer. Watch out, crocodiles. Watch out, turtles. Hide. The skunk is good at hiding. It is rarely seen during daylight. Where is the skunk? Noisy fact: if you hear an animal on your roof, it's probably a raccoon or a squirrel, not a skunk. Question: have you ever smelled a skunk in your neighborhood? I certainly have. Under the house, in the trash can, over there by the bushes? Know your cat fur. Jaguars have rosettes. Leopards have C-shaped spots. Cheetahs have polka dots. Tigers have stripes. Lions are plain. Baby fact: a baby lion has white spots which it usually outgrows. Fur fact: most black panthers are jaguars or leopards without spots. Know your stripes. Zorilla, hognose skunk, spotted skunk, hooded skunk. Furry fact: baby skunks are born with stripes. Striped skunk. This is a stinky page. In this book, we'll feature the striped skunk. Range. The jaguar lives in much of Central America and South America. Many jaguars live in rainforests. They also hunt on grassland and savannas. Jaguars do not live in Africa. Skunks are found on every continent except Antarctica and Australia. Look at all those continents: North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. Skunks are in almost every one of them. Crepuscular. The jaguar sometimes is a crepuscular hunter. Definition: crepuscular means an animal hunts at dawn and at dusk. Auto fact: there is a famous sports car called the Jaguar. Dawn is when the sun first rises, dusk is when the sun sets. Time of day facts: dawn is also called daybreak, dusk is also called twilight. Nocturnal: the skunk is a nocturnal hunter. It comes out at night. Skunk idiom: to get skunked sometimes means to go fishing and not catch anything. Hey Rob, maybe we should write a nocturnal alphabet book. The Nocturnal Alphabet Book by Jerry Pallotta. Hey kids, it doesn't exist. We just said that as a joke. Well, it's not a joke. I'd love to write a nocturnal alphabet book. I just never did it. But we pretended there was one in the book. Dinner. Zoologists studied jaguars and discovered that they eat dozens of different types of animals. River otters, monkeys, deer, tapirs, rabbits, snakes, capybaras, fish, wild boars, caimans and crocodiles, turtles and frogs. Definition: a zoologist is a scientist who studies animals. Did you know a jaguar can hunt and eat animals much bigger than itself? Supper. Skunks are omnivores. They eat plants and animals. A skunk would gladly eat spaghetti or a cheeseburger too. Fact: animals that eat only plants are herbivores. For example, elephants and pandas are herbivores. Skunks eat fruits and vegetables, insects and larvae, small reptiles, amphibians, small mammals, eggs, fish, snails, worms. Yummy fact: the great horned owl eats skunks. Yuck. Spaghetti, cheeseburger. That's what a skunk would eat. Warning: beware the jaguar. Jaguar is a magnificent creature. If there were an animal Olympics, the jaguar might win the gold medal for hunting. However, the jaguar is not a gentle animal. It stalks and ambushes its prey. Its jaws are so strong it can bite turtle shells, pierce skulls, and crush necks. Tail fact: the jaguar has the shortest tail of all the big cats. The snow leopard has the longest tail. Beware the skunk. One day, a skunk sprayed the underside of a car. The car smelled so bad the family couldn't drive it for a week. Stinky. By the way, that happened to me. I drove over a skunk and it sprayed underneath. It didn't get on my kids or me, but it sprayed under the car, so the car smelled awful. A skunk was near a home's outdoor air conditioning unit. The skunk got startled and sprayed. The smell went through the central air vents in the house, and the people couldn't live there for a month. It wasn't funny. That was my Uncle Dom. That happened to my Uncle Dom. Fact: if you see a skunk during daylight, it is usually a sick skunk. A girl got sprayed by a skunk on her way to school. The principal sent her home. To get the skunk smell off, she had to take a bath in tomato juice. Her parents had to throw her clothes away. Fact: skunk spray is not poisonous. By the way, that's a true story. I went to visit a school one day, and they said, "We're very sorry. This girl who wanted to meet you couldn't meet you. She couldn't meet you because she got sprayed by a skunk on the way to school, and she smelled so bad we couldn't let her in the school." I was sad about it. How might you know a jaguar is in the area? You would hear it. The jaguar is the only cat in the Western Hemisphere that roars. Meow fact: house cats meow. Lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars roar. How would you know a skunk is in the area? You might smell it. Yuck. The skunk smell comes from glands near its tail. The skunk lifts its tail and shoots a stinky mist. Fact: skunks are less likely to spray if they can't see what they are spraying. If a pest removal worker catches a skunk in a cage, he might cover the cage with a blanket so the skunk won't spray. Alone. The jaguar is a solitary cat. It is perfectly happy living alone. Definition: solitary and solo both mean alone. This might be what it would look like if jaguars hunted in a pack. Yikes. Solo fact, a tiger is a solitary hunter. Pack fact, the lion is a pack hunter. Cool smelly facts. The name Chicago is from the Ojibwa Indian language for skunk land. I never knew that. Chicago means skunk land. Did you know skunk cabbage smells like skunk spray? Skunk Works was the secret name of the Lockheed Martin aircraft factory in Palmdale, California, which built the top secret U-2 spy plane, the SR-71 Blackbird, the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter, and the F-22 Raptor. Wow. Teeth. Jaguar has teeth that are perfect for catching and eating meat. Did you know the last teeth on the upper jaw of every cat are sideways? By the way, kids, that's how you can tell a cat. The last tooth on the top goes sideways. Height and weight. Jaguar is 36 inches tall and weighs 120 to 210 pounds. Little jaw. The skunk has small teeth, but they do the job. Did you know the skunk smell is made up of 7 chemicals? Did you know some skunks do handstands so they appear larger? By the way, parents, if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and you can watch a skunk walking on his hands. So if he sees an animal like a dog or something that's bigger, he walks on his hands so he looks bigger. I've seen it. It's amazing. Weight, 4 to 12 pounds, 22 to 31 inches long. More weapons. The jaguar has other weapons besides its huge teeth and strong jaws. Sharp claws, camouflage, speed, quickness. Wow, a jaguar can run 50 miles per hour. That is really moving. One weapon. Maybe all you need is one secret weapon. The skunk's ability to create a terrible smell has kept it safe for millions of years. Did you know the skunk can shoot its spray up to 6 times in a row before it runs out? Fact, skunk spray is highly flammable. Stink. Skunks aren't fast, but they are experts in chemical warfare. By the way, there's 2 ladies helping me today. And isn't that funny that I call the skunk spray the skunk secret weapon? And the 2 ladies today, Mary Alice, who's in Connecticut, Jamie, who's in Texas, that are helping me today, I call them my secret weapons. The jaguar sneaks up on a napping crocodile and crushes its neck with one giant bite. Wow. As the jaguar was eating the crocodile, the skunk found a tasty dragonfly. I wish I was a human. I'd have a pepperoni pizza, a cheeseburger, and fries. Kids, I think that's what the jaguar is thinking. He wishes he was human so he could have a pepperoni pizza, cheeseburger, and fries. As the jaguar was eating a nutria, the skunk was munching on a delicious frog. A nutria is a water rat. The jaguar ambushes the capybara, the largest rodent on Earth. It hauls the big rodent up in its tree to save for a dinner later. Definition: an ambush is a surprise attack. A big green anaconda for lunch is also no problem. The jaguar's jaws are strong. Sorry, snake. The jaguar catches a giant pacu with its pointy teeth. Yum. It will have fish for dinner tonight. As the jaguar was eating the giant pacu, the skunk chewed and swallowed a turtle egg. Fact, the skunk was seen chasing a cougar away. The jaguar's jaw is so strong it can pierce through a turtle shell. The jaguar will eat the turtle. The smart jaguar stalks a wild boar. It patiently waits for the boar to go to sleep, then crushes its skull. Definition: stalk means to secretly follow. Okay, we're here, kids. Here's the fight scene, the end of the book. The hungry jaguar is walking in the rainforest. It is looking for another meal. The jaguar sees the skunk. The jaguar could easily rip the skunk to shreds. This may be no contest. The jaguar can't stand the smell. It runs away as fast as possible. Congratulations to the skunk. The ferocious jaguar quit the battle. Stink wins. By the way, I met a kindergartner who was really mad at me. He said, Jerry, I'm really mad at you. They didn't fight in that book. They didn't fight. And I said, they did fight. The jaguar ran away. That's what happens in some fights. One of the parties doesn't want to fight. They run away. So that's what happened. Hey, we have one more book. You kids are great. You parents, teachers out there that are following us. Thank you to the Scholastic book clubs. If you want to get my books, go to scholastic.com/book clubs. And thank you all you teachers out there that help show my books to kids. Thank you all you kids that read my books. And here's our next book we're going to read. Here it is, Hyena Woo. Hyena versus honey badger. Okay? So have I ever seen a hyena? Yes, I was in Africa. I saw a hyena. Have I ever seen a honey badger? No, I have not. So would I like to see one? I would love to see one. I've never seen one. What would happen if a hyena and a honey badger met each other? What if they had a fight? Who do you think would win? Hyenas. There are 4 types of hyenas. The spotted hyena is the largest and strongest hyena. Fact, hyenas are mammals. This is the rarest species of hyena, It is found mostly in the Kalahari Desert in Africa. Brown hyena. A mammal is a warm-blooded animal that often has hair or fur. This is the smallest hyena, a striped hyena. An aardwolf is also considered a hyena, but it eats mainly insects. Hyenas are mostly nocturnal, which means they hunt and move about at night. Badgers. There are several types of badgers. Badgers are short, stocky mammals with strong jaws and thick, tough skin. This badger is also called a Eurasian badger. Fact, honey badgers are also mammals. Eurasian badger. This badger prefers to live in prairies. It eats small mammals such as squirrels. Mascot fact, the University of Wisconsin, Madison sports teams are called the Badgers. So there is a North American badger. About half of the honey badger's diet is snakes, including venomous snakes. And here's the honey badger. Venomous means using poison to kill their prey. How would you describe a honey badger? Fearless and ferocious. Meet the spotted hyena. In this book, we will feature a spotted hyena. Its scientific name is Crocuta crocuta. It's okay to laugh. The spotted hyena is also known by many as a laughing hyena. Meet the honey badger. The honey badger's scientific name is Mellivora capensis. The honey badger is also called a ratel. Fact, honey badgers are omnivores. That means they eat everything, including animals and plants. Honey badgers have dark fur around their bodies with white fur on their heads and backs. They look like they might be made of chocolate with vanilla frosting on top. Don't be confused. African wild dogs are not hyenas, but sometimes look like them. The legs of an African wild dog are all the same height. Hyena's front legs are longer than its back legs. Hyenas have long, thick neck. Related. Badgers are related to otters, polecats, wolverines, and weasels. Just think, honey badger is also related to the sea otter. Did you know a honey badger rarely drinks water? It gets fluid from the blood of snakes and other creatures it eats. So there they are, otter, polecat, wolverine, weasel. Fact, honey badgers also eat melons to get more fluids. Pack. A group of hyenas is called a cackle. Hyenas are often found in large packs. Other collective or group words: a herd of cows, flock of birds, swarm of bees, colony of bats, school of fish. Alone, a group of honey badgers is called a, not sure how to say this, sete. However, most honey badgers prefer to travel and hunt alone. More collective words: parliament of owls, murder of crows, pride of lions, a crash of rhinos. Africa. Hyenas live in Africa and Asia. Most live at the edges of forests and on savannas. Geography fact: Africa and Asia are continents, not countries. Definition: a savanna is an area of flat grasslands. Arabia and India. The honey badger lives in Africa, on the Arabian Peninsula, and much of India. So there's the Arabian Peninsula, the honey badger territory, the spotted hyena territory. Sometimes they're near each other. Den. Hyenas live in an underground room, chambers, and tunnels called a den. Other animals have different names for their homes. Beavers live in a lodge. Birds live in a nest. Polar bears live in a snow cave. Bees live in a hive. Can you think of more names and places animals live? Well, I live in a condo, so that's different. Set. A honey badger also lives underground. Its home is called a set. More animal homes. Squirrels live in a dray. Leopards live in a lair. Lemmings live in a runway. Pigs live in a sty. Can you research other kinds of homes and shelters? Where do you live? Well, my Nana lived at a beach house. Chasing prey. Hyenas are known for chasing their prey until the prey gets exhausted from running and collapses. This is one way to hunt, but not the bravest way to fight. Fact. Some local people have little respect for the way the hyenas hunt. Strong and determined. The honey badger is famous for being relentless. When it wants to do something, it doesn't let anything get in its way. Yummy fact. The honey badger attacks a beehive to eat bee larvae, which are young bees that aren't fully grown. The larvae have more nutrition than the honey. Hyena weapons. Sharp teeth. Perfect for crunching bones and cartilage. Fact. Hyena poop is white from eating so many animal bones. Strong jaw. The hyena is one of the strongest jaws in the animal world, but not the strongest. Sorry, hyena and great white shark. The Tasmanian devil has the strongest jaw. Package deal. Where there is one hyena, there are usually more. It's not a good idea to fight the whole neighborhood. Honey badger weapons. Honey badgers have claws that are longer than a bear's. Long claws. Fact. Honey badgers are expert diggers. Honey badgers are great climbers. They climb trees. Who knew the honey badger could swim? He's an excellent swimmer. Honey badger's skin is so thick, it is hard to bite and hard to sting. Well, kids, now you know why he can go attack a beehive. The bee stinger isn't as thick as his skin. Speed. A hyena can run up to 35 miles per hour. A cheetah can run faster, up to 70 miles per hour. Size. Hyenas grow up to 3 feet tall and more than 6 feet long. Fun fact. The height of a hyena and many other animals is measured from its paw, its front paws, up to its shoulder. So that's how they measure it. Spotted hyenas can weigh up to 190 pounds. Wow, they weigh more, well, I weigh more than them. Not as fast. The honey badger can run up to 15 miles per hour. Did you know the honey badger can walk backward? The honey badger is agile, which means it can move quickly to the left and right, slow down and speed up. The honey badger is long and low to the ground. Honey badgers can weigh up to 35 pounds. Ears. Hyenas have excellent sense of hearing. The hyena's ears are large and round. Did you know hyenas are believed to be smarter than chimpanzees? Ears. Honey badgers got their name from attacking beehives. They have flaps over their ears to protect them from bee stings. Ferocious fact. A honey badger often confronts animals much larger than itself. Fact. A honey badger was seen biting a lion on the nose. On the way to the fight, we stopped at a strange... hey kids, teachers, I called up the illustrator Rob Bolster one day and I said, I have a great idea for this book. Let's introduce all the famous painters in the world, classical painters. On the way to the fight, we stopped at a strange art museum. This month was featuring unusual paintings of hyenas and honey badgers. The famous Italian painter Botticelli might paint a hyena like this. The artist Michelangelo might sculpt a hyena this way. The Dutch painter Vermeer might paint a honey badger like this. An American modern artist Peter Max might use lots of bright colors when painting a honey badger. So look at that, kids. Botticelli, Michelangelo, Vermeer, Peter Max. Italian artist Caravaggio might use dark backgrounds with bright light up front. Here is a surrealistic hyena, a Salvador Dali. This might be one impressionist way to paint a honey badger, Vincent van Gogh. Okay, enough beautiful artwork. Now we are leaving the museum and heading to the fight. There's a Jackson Pollock. So kids, Caravaggio, Salvador Dali, Vincent van Gogh, Jackson Pollock. The illustrator and I were just goofing off, and we wanted to have fun while we were writing the books. And of course, we wanted to learn science and facts, but we also wanted to learn artwork, because when we go to schools, we meet lots of art teachers. All right, here's the fight scene. The honey badger smells the larger hyena. The hyena is aware that the honey badger is in the area. The hyena thinks it can easily take on the low to the ground honey badger. The hyena tries to bite the honey badger. The honey badger doesn't back down. It nips the hyena on the nose. Ouch, that hurt. The honey badger charges the hyena and bites it on the ankle. The hyena moves away. The honey badger never backs down. The honey badger chases the hyena. The hyena finds the honey badger annoying. The hyena uses its front paws to knock the honey badger down. It bites the honey badger, but it doesn't hurt. The honey badger's skin is too thick and flexible. The hyena bites again, but the honey badger bites back. Then the honey badger uses its long claws to swipe at the hyena's eyes. The hyena can't see out of one of its eyes. The honey badger is fearless. It bites the legs, then swipes at the hyena's eyes again. With the powerful jaw, the honey badger breaks the front leg of the hyena. The hyena falls. The honey badger bites the hyena on the nose again. Scratched eye, broken leg, damaged face. The hyena is defeated. The honey badger wins. So there you go. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me on your show. And thank you, Scholastic Book Clubs. And people say to me, in your publishing career, what's the best thing that ever happened to you? And I always say, the day I was introduced to the Scholastic Book Clubs was really great. So thank you, Scholastic Book Clubs, and all the staff there that helps me. And just because we have a few extra minutes, there's whale versus giant squid. There's Wolverine versus Tasmanian devil. There's Komodo dragon versus king cobra. There's the ultimate dinosaur rumble. There's killer whale versus great white shark. That's the first Who Would Win book I ever wrote. All you teachers out there, if you wonder what the first Who Would Win book, there it is. Killer whale versus great white shark. Tyrannosaurus rex versus velociraptor. Polar bear versus grizzly bear. Lion versus tiger. Ultimate jungle rumble. Tarantula versus scorpion. Ultimate bug rumble. And his ultimate ocean rumble. We love those rumbles. The next book coming out is the ultimate shark rumble. Hammerhead versus bull shark. Rattlesnake versus secretary bird. Triceratops versus Spinosaurus. Jaguar versus skunk. Lobster versus crab. Hippo versus rhino. Green ants versus army ants. And alligator versus python. There you go, kids. Thank you for having me. That's Jerry Pallotta from Boston, Massachusetts, speaking to you from Southie. And thank you for having me. And all you kids that read my books, thank you. See ya.